Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are learning from the book Qur'anic Language Made Easy. We are going to study the basic grammar required to understand the Quran, and this book is written by Hafiza Iffath Hasan. Now we will move down to Unit 1. Today we are going to learn about Unit 1, Al-Fasl al-Awwal. The first lesson that is in Unit 1 is about words, Al-Kalimat. Al-kalimat means the words, and words are of three types. The three types of words in the Arabic language, which first is ism, which means noun, like in the English language, fi'il, which means verb, and harf, which is a word that is not a verb and not a noun. So it can be a preposition, it can be connecting words like and, etc. That kind of thing. First, isim is noun, which we all know that nouns are either names of an object, place, person, or even action. For instance, we have huwa, which means he. This is a pronoun, as we all know it. An example of a noun is also a pronoun, but we will delve into that later. And we have Muhammad, who is, and we have Muhammad, that is the name of a person. We have Kitabun, which means a book. And we have Qiyamun, which means standing, which is the action noun standing, not the verb standing. Fi'il is a verb. A verb is an action word that refers to either past, present, or future tense, but it indicates an action that is happening or that has happened. Which, for example, fa'ala, which means he did, like he did something. Yaf'alu, which means he does or he will do. And harf, which is a particle, okay, it can mean it can be a preposition like fi, which is in, or it can be an indicative one, which is like man, who, or either when, or in, if. That kind of thing. Okay, the basic points. In a nutshell, actually, when we want to learn Arabic, there are a few things we have to keep in. Now, there are two tips that I have, which is one is to always remember that when you want to master the Arabic language, you have to master the Arabic letters. And you have to master the Arabic letters. And in order to master the Arabic letters, you have to pay attention to the dots because that is the way of differentiating between letters. Once you're able to differentiate between the letters, you can at least read and understand. Well, yes, you need to know the meanings of the words, but at least to be able to make words in Arabic. So that is one step in the path of learning Arabic. The second is that when we talk about nouns specifically, nouns are always either masculine or feminine in gender. There is no neutral gender in Arabic like there is in English. In English, we have a neuter gender or a neutral gender, but in Arabic, we do not have that actually. Now, in Arabic, also, what you need to keep in mind is that we have different forms of words. Like in English, you have singular, dual, plural. Actually, in English, you do not have dual, sorry. In English, you have singular or plural. We all agree. But in Arabic, you have dual form. Dual form refers to two. It refers to two. Singular is one, like we all know. Dual is two. You may not have heard of this, but like if you want to refer to two people or two things, then we have a dual form. And plural refers to more than two, isn't three or more. This is Arabic specifically because in English you can also use plural to represent two. But in Arabic, they is split into two parts. One is they if you're referring to two people or two things, and one is they if you're referring to three or more. Don't worry, we will get on to that. In English here, we have first, second, and third persons. Now, this does not mean one, two, or three people literally, but it is regarding the perspective of who's talking. Like the first person perspective is if you yourself are talking, I or we, like I am talking or we are talking. Second person is if you are directly talking to someone. Like two people are talking, person A is talking to person B. So if you are doing that, then we use the word you, right? That is the second person. Third person is if you are talking about somebody who is not there to listen to the conversation to what you guys are having. That is a person perspective. We have the same thing in Arabic. Now, like I have said earlier, third person is the one spoken about using the pronouns they, them, he, or she. While second person is the one spoken to directly, you. So you can be on the phone talking to someone. If you're talking to that person, there is still a second person perspective. You do not have to be directly face to face with the person for that. The first person is the one speaking, which is I, we, or us. Now, if you, let's just say you, for example, maybe find it a bit difficult to understand, you can just remember this table here. This nice table that splits into plural, dual, singular, and the person and the third, second, and first person perspectives. For instance, we have third person masculine, which is which can be divided into singular, dual, and plural. Now we will just use the English ones first, so that explaining the Arabic perspective becomes easier once you understand the English, because the language medium of this book is English in order to teach Arabic. So I will explain the English part first. When we are speaking about someone in the third person perspective of only one person, now we are speaking about one person. Then we use him, his, or it. But if we are speaking about a third person in dual form, in the sense that you're speaking about two things, that you are speaking about two things, for example, then we use them or their in English. And the same goes for plural, them and their. In Arabic, though, they are different. The dual and plural are used differently. The pronouns used are different. So do not worry, that will make it easier for you to differentiate whether it is dual or so third person perspective, everything is the same except for singular. There we have her instead of him or his, and we have it. However, even though in English it is the same, we see that, oh, clearly you see, especially with the plural and dual is the same. In Arabic, it is different. We have different pronouns in Arabic to ascertain each, to identify each and every one of these instances. You see, we have per three instances per person perspective per gender. So we have one, two, three, five times three. We have 15 perspectives here. We have 15 different pronouns for that, and there's a song for it. So if you have problems memorizing, do not worry, we have a song for it. Now, second person masculine is the same for all three. Second person masculine and feminine are the same. We have you or your for all three of the perspectives here: singular perspective, dual perspective, and plural perspective. But in Arabic, they are different, but we will go through that soon. Now, for the first person masculine and feminine, we have my and me for both the masculine and feminine, and us and our for both the masculine and feminine of plural and dual. So, do not worry, we will go through little by little, slowly, slowly. Now, the next lesson will be on Dama'ir, but we will go through that next time so that it is not too burdensome for you all. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Do drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure to like and